Hey, what up, though? Yes, welcome back to A Lady and a Savage podcast. And if this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Tosha.
I'm Chuck.
And what'd you say?
I said I'm Chuck. What you mean?
No, what do you usually say after that? You ain't even saying.
I don't even remember.
Oh my God, you say, well, let's get right into it.
Oh, I was going to say that shit anyway. But we definitely need to just get right into it. It's been a minute. Like, I miss you. I ain't even actually seen you in a couple of weeks.
I know.
Oh. So this is like reunite all together.
Reunited and it feels so good. I told y'all I was going to sing.
It's definitely a reunion right now because it's been
2 months.
Damn, it's been 2 months since we did this?
Last episode was September 15th.
Wow.
And then life took a turn. Things were crazy. Things were not settled. They were not stable. I was still dealing with my dad.
Hey, life happens. It does.
You know.
Well, God willing, we all get through it.
Yes. So I'm happy to be back, though, because
that's what's up.
This is my happy place, and I have a good time doing this.
Well, let's get to it. You already know what it is.
Okay. Now, don't judge us because we had to take a little hiatus in the middle of the season, but we are sponsor worthy. So listen, if you have a brand, a business, or something that you want to promote, please work with us. Tap in, A Lady and a Savage podcast at gmail.com. We are ready to do business with you. We're ready to promote your business. And that's that on that.
And definitely do that before the price go up because the price is definitely going up. I think that's kind of been my mantra lately.
Yep. But the holidays are coming, so we are still open to, making it make sense for everybody's pocketbooks. Not really.
You better hope I don't get that email because the price is going up. Ain't no damn holiday sales. You can spend money on that bullshit. You can pay money on things that are worth it. So
we on that Black Friday sponsorship, so please do. I'm just talking.
Tap in to Tasha only if you're trying to get a Black Friday special, because I'm not giving no special.
The shade,
none.
And then I happen to think that I give very, very sound, good advice. So tell us your business. Go ahead, send us emails. You can jump in our DMs on our social media handles. Everything is A Lady and a Savage podcast, but our email is aladyandaSavagePodcast at gmail.com. Tell us your situation. Let us know what's going on, and we can advise you. We can tell you, yay, nay, yes, blow up his house. No, don't blow up his house. We gonna tell you, and we gonna. Chuck gonna shoot straight from the hip.
Gonna tell you the truth. Cutting no corners.
He's a meanie.
Not really.
Okay.
I've been working on myself lately. I actually really been working on my anger. I've been working on my reaction to overreact, my ability to not actually assess a situation and just dive right in. I really been working on that. Like these last 2 months, I got some growth.
Well, you can't go soft, though, because you're the savage.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is instead of me giving somebody 5 seconds, I've extended the period of time to like 15, 20 seconds to where if I take at least 1 or 2 breaths, I might not overreact.
That's not working. 15, that's not working.
I'm telling you, I've made hella progress. Definitely over the last 2 months.
OMG.
I've been real cool, like chill. Now, I done seen some fuck shit, but other than that, I've been real cool.
Well, we hope that you are listening from all over, but we are in Metro Detroit, so we do have a fundraiser that we would like to share. It's not even a fundraiser, actually. It's a donation situation, and it's called Keeping Detroit Warm. Oh, it is a fundraiser. Okay, I stand corrected. Anyway, for the 4th year in a row, Keeping Detroit Warm is to collect coats for Coats winter stuff, gently used or brand new if you so choose. Winter hats, gloves, scarves, socks, all of the above to help bring warmth to the less fortunate.
I say, who's doing that?
This is put on by our friends at the show, Jay on My Grind. She has co-hosted with us before as a guest. Shout out to Jay. We appreciate you and your kind heart and wanting to help the less fortunate stay warm this winter. And it has been very mild this fall, so you got time to get those items together before that snow hits and before those cold temps.
Are they taking used coats as well?
Gently.
Okay. I'm sure everybody have gently used coats in their closet that's either too small, too big, you can't wear it anymore, your children can't wear it anymore. Definitely take them in.
Yeah, so all sizes will be accepted and will benefit the Cass Community Social Services. For more information and other inquiries on how to get your donations out, you can reach out via Facebook and Instagram to Keeping Detroit Warm. And email is keepingdetroitwarm@gmail.com, or you can contact Jay at Jay on My Grind on Instagram. So
that's what's up.
Yes,
I love to see my people doing stuff.
That's so dope.
Yes.
All right, so let's just get right into some of our news topics for today. We got our ears to the streets.
I'm sure it's been a whole bunch of fuck shit going on lately.
Yeah,
I know you better have something good for me.
Some of it I ain't been wanting to talk about. Yeah.
I know you dreaded what we've been seeing time and time again in the news over and over again. Same tweets, same posts. But other than that, I know that's not what you're leading with, though.
No, I'm leading with the election. So we had the election on November 8th.
Yep.
To vote for Senate and governors and your local officials, your school officials, and all of that good stuff, and some proposals. So
let's not forget the ones that people ain't talking about too now.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, about the states that had the part of the ballot where they were voting on changing the verbiage in their constitution for different states, and you would be surprised that some states actually did not vote that to pass. That bill did not pass everywhere, and it's unfortunate that we have to even be voting on whether or not slavery is a form of punishment. It's just crazy to me overall. But you haven't heard any about that in the news, really. You may see it in the newspaper, but the major media is not actually talking about that.
I'm so troubled by that. Yeah. Slavery?
Yeah, slavery. As a form of punishment. Because I also been doing some research, and there's some towns I hear that in Texas, they basically still have that old school mentality like sundown. Like basically you get caught in that town.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling whether or not you're going to make it out. And that's some crazy shit. And the fact that we are in a world today in 2022 and we're still trying to, get basic rights, it's crazy to me.
So what is it? I've always wondered, what is it? Is it that, what makes melanated people such a, threat, I guess? Because how do we even end up, enslaved as a...
Shit, that's a whole nother show time.
I know, but I'm just saying,
And I've been doing some research lately. That's a whole... We can have at least a 2-hour episode talking about how we ended up in this fucked up situation for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Well, I was really saying that to say, when y'all gonna stop being mad?
I think the problem is not necessarily being mad. When is it going to be action behind the anger? Because
I just want some
you
coins.
really start to know our true history, is really fucked up, because this is not what we are supposed to be. This is not the positions that we should be in. This is not the type of control that we should have. And once we really realize that, stop buying into the bullshit of that you're a minority, you might actually learn something. It's
just super unsettling to realize how far backwards we're going with some of these topics, even with Proposal 3 and the right for women to choose and govern their own bodies. Right. Why? What? Yeah. Roe versus Wade was settled and closed, and then we go and reopen it on some what? Because what? But you would be amazed at how many people actually got out to vote on the local level that was voting against that proposal here.
It was so.
That's probably the thing that drove them out. Because I'm going to be honest, I hate this country. So that's what drove me out to the polls. Was I'll be doggone if somebody gets to tell me what I can do with my reproductive self. Like, I'm grown.
But that's why it's important that people really need to take their local elections serious.
Yeah.
Because 100% of what's happening in the local election is going to affect you. Like, there is no federal law, then it comes down to the state law, then there's no gray area where a law can trump another law, or there's a difference between a land law and the federal. Like, none of that exists in your local area. Like, you have to be active and know and go and vote, like, because that shit actually directly impacts you. Like, I'm one of those people that it took me probably, I think I was probably like 22 the first time I was 18 the first time I voted. And then I felt like my vote didn't count. And I don't think I voted again until I was like 22 years old.
Same.
And then it was when I was educating myself on different things, but I was more interested in the local elections than I even was thinking about anything else.
My first time voting, I voted for Al Gore. I remember that. And then I didn't vote again for a really long time.
That's crazy.
But yeah, shout out to Al Gore's internet. I'm glad I voted for you.
But what was you about to say? Because I got you all off topic.
I was just going to talk about Proposal 3, and I was going to say shout out to Big Gretch, you on deck once again. But I did see a meme that was so funny from, I think her name is Jessica. Is it Jessica Tudor? I know the last name is Tudor, for sure.
Tudor Dixon? Is that the fish? I mean, ooh.
No. I thought it was Jessica. Nice. It's not Jessica Tudor?
The one she was running against, right?
Yeah.
No, that's Tudor Dixon.
That's Tudor Dixon.
Okay, whatever the case. Okay, because she was on the wrong side of the coin anyway, so.
And she looked clownish, man.
But she had the nerve. I don't know if it was an altered tweet or not, but there was a tweet that went out that was supposedly coming from her that was like,
That was a fake account.
I like the buffs too. Girl, you ain't getting no buffs. You never get no buffs.
Never.
That is a Big Gretch thing. Have a seat.
Definitely.
Okay. Team Big Gretch, in case y'all didn't know.
For sure.
So next order of business, yes. Next order of business, we all know that Kanye has been under fire once again for his mouth and his crazy. But
Don't do that.
What?
I don't say his crazy. Bro ain't crazy.
Kanye is crazy.
No, he's not.
He's crazy.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's clinically crazy.
Well, you have to look at who actually clinically diagnosed him first before you can say that he's clinically crazy, because bro is not crazy at all. It's a setup. The system is really set up to fuck us.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, but I'm not even gonna go into that. That's a whole nother episode. We can really go deep on that subject, because there is absolutely nothing new about what they are doing to Kanye West, to Kyrie, to any other Nick Cannon a year ago, any other black man, any black man that actually talks about learning about his history or referencing anything that he learned and try to share that knowledge, he's a threat. Just period, overall. And immediately they labeled him with a word that you cannot label us with. And for those that know, the shit is a gimmick. Like, at the end of the day, it's a gimmick. And until we wake up as a people and start supporting each other, they're going to keep doing the shit. And that's what it is. Like, until we really start to build our own, do our own, like, the more I research and the more I educate myself, the more I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not putting my money where my money's supposed to be going. I'm not doing business with the right individual.
But that's evolution, though. That comes with age and experience. Like, don't be hard on yourself about it. Like, if you sit here and saying that's what you realize that you think you need to do, then you can just start taking the steps. Because I think in life, a lot of stuff comes from...
I can't get the mic to stay on one spot.
Leave it alone.
No, it keep going down.
Guess who not getting in trouble for moving their mic today, though?
I really wasn't trying to move it.
He touched it as soon as he sat down.
I did. That's my fault.
That's usually my job to get in trouble for. But yeah, like, you got, God willing, time to start tapping into those things that are on your spirit that you want to be a part of. Especially with our main topic, what we're going to go into tonight. But with Kanye, the newest news is that Adidas, since they severed the partnership, they still want to release Yeezys, but they want to rebrand and call them something else because they said they own the design rights. So they can release the shoe still. But what they got to know about, I'm going to say specifically, I know the black community, we don't wear nothing well, it do people with fugazi stuff. But
like, a lot of people.
We don't champion that. We will roast you. So if you come out with them Adidas fake Yeezys, you get roasted.
They about to get a lot of pushback.
You get roasted. So
no, if you support them moving forward, and I know some people who are some Adidas like
diehards. I do too.
Diehard. And actually one of my best friends, like, all the fuck she wear is Adidas, but it be fly. But at this point, we got to sit down and have a talk.
So I got to give up Ivy Park?
Yeah. Yes. You literally have to stop putting and pouring your money, what you work hard for, what you saving up for, into somebody who gives two fucks about you.
Beyonce, take Ivy Park over to Puma.
That's a whole nother conversation too. But
Lauren London and Nipsey over there.
I'm not even going to get into it because I know y'all going to hate me.
Capitalists, they not moving shit.
See? That's what I'm saying. We gotta.
I mean, I love
pull that paper back. You gotta pull that paper back.
All right, y'all. Moment of silence for.
I'd be shocked.
That's spending.
Beyonce came out like, yeah, we moving Ivy Park.
No.
A moment of silence for our relationships with Adidas.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm with it.
We can't have nothing.
No, we boycotting Adidas.
Nike.
Anybody that cut a contract with, bro. And you lucky I got this hoodie on today because I had just bought it a couple of weeks ago. Or I wouldn't have it on. Like, real talk.
We don't support Nike?
Are you sure they doing the Kyrie?
I'm not buying nothing new.
They on some bullshit.
In a minute, I'm about to come out with my own gym shoe, y'all. Be looking out for the gym shoe. I was doing something for the women that I'm working on, but I think I need a gym shoe ASAP because
I'm wearing all.
I'm tired of it. Yeah. See?
So then you gonna get the Larry Ball shoe? Is that his name?
Ball?
Ball? I just know the last name is Ball. They came out with a shoe.
The only shoes they got is basketball shoes.
There's a lot of other shoes out
okay.
But it's a lot. We got other black.
This not my ministry.
Yeah.
I want.
You got
I want a Chanel bag. This not my ministry.
the spot right here in Southfield, Octane. They got some shoes. They got their
I
own
like
brand that's
Jordans.
black owned. Like it's a lot of local.
I'm a Jordan girl, and I want a Chanel bag.
That's cool.
That's all. That's really
But
on
Chanel don't give a fuck about you either.
on my wish list.
Like, just know
that's
that.
okay.
Chanel probably has slaves. Her parents, whoever the bitch probably ain't even the bitch. Like, they changed the
So
faces.
you just
ever
woke
so
up
many
today to be a
years.
dream killer.
No, I think I've been turned into a realist. Like,
We just need people to start waking up.
and I think that's what it is. I've been reading so much that
Because
it's bullshit.
Y'all remember that from school days?
so this is the thing. Damn, I said that even. So this is the thing.
Is that my note?
Every other group of people puts a lot of money into their own, except us. We put our money into everybody else. At what point are we going to look up and see and really be like, you know what? They really don't give a fuck about us. They making all this money off of us, but they don't give us anything back. They don't come to our neighborhoods. They don't pour into our communities. They don't speak up for us. They disappear. And the first thing they'll do is, like how Nike doing Kyrie right now. Ain't nothing about that documentary anti-Semitic.
Nope.
Nothing. They ain't even seen the documentary.
No.
But
They going off that one state.
Well, I mean, he also
Hold
didn't
on.
say anything. That's
it
was
don't.
what he
I'm
questioned.
saying is he's being
unnecessarily dragged.
they trying to buck break him,
Yeah,
and it's on some bullshit.
it's wrong.
All of them wrong.
It's wrong.
And now Phil Knight from Nike gonna go and make another statement coming out like, yeah, I don't condone da 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 da. Like, you ain't even seen the documentary. The only reason you come out and saying that is because you lying in bed with Jeff Bezos from Amazon. All of y'all some cronies that hang out with each other, and y'all gonna protect each other.
So I gotta boycott Jordans too.
I mean, that's your
up to
thing.
you.
I don't fuck with Jordan.
I mean, I like the shoe, but I don't
that's
buy
just
it.
me. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm just
You know what
talking about the
saying?
shoe.
I never bought a
But-
pair of Jordans.
So here's the thing: if Jordan was to separate the Jordan brand from Nike, then I might think about You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But he's making his money off of Nike.
So no more
But Jordan is a
dunks?
capitalist too.
No more dunks.
Tasha,
Jordan
you
is a
can
capitalist
buy-
No more Air Force Ones.
I didn't say all that. I said you can buy whatever you want.
Not if I'm beginning. No, not if people don't.
Now, if you trying to jump on the revolution,
Yeah,
you gotta go find you
Listen,
some all black
wanna be
everything.
part of the
I'm not
revolution.
judging nobody. I just think we need to put more into our people. We got a lot of black designers, a lot of black creatives that got dope stuff out here.
I
You know what I'm
support.
saying? And eventually, what I'm hoping is that black people start to really put their money in places where we can really do some things. Like, why don't we have our own manufacturing companies?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't manufacture our own shit.
So you still got to do business.
So
with
our
them.
black people, they got these dope
Deals.
They got
with
these dope
companies.
clothing lines, dope designs, and all this shit, but they gotta
outsource
still
everything.
deal with the white man,
Yeah.
the Jew. They still gotta deal with the foreigners who like, well, y'all over there, we don't give a fuck about America, so we gonna make sure we keep
That
hiking
money
these
green,
prices
though.
up.
But I think Oprah tried with OWN.
and then our, we not even about to. You about to make
What
me
else we
cuss.
got on? Well, I was about to say.
You about to make me cuss for real.
Tasha, you done
You know
dropped
what
at
I'm
least
saying?
6 different new episodes that we could get on, but that ain't it.
I mean, listen, Oprah
ain't
is a
it.
capitalist too. We talking about black people who all they care about is the dollar. Even
Because what you gotta remember is
even
they're no
Tyler
longer
Perry
black.
is towing the line. He's gonna protect the dollar first.
Tyler Perry.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
be quiet with my thoughts on Tyler Perry.
He's a billionaire.
Starts with a C, ends with an N. But I mean, you know,
I'm not a great speller. I'm not.
He a who?
I'm not a spelling bee champ. So
I mean, I think Tyler Perry is more for the black community than other people I know.
Absolutely.
yeah, but he got to
absolutely.
stop
But
making these shows that.
All I'm. Well, you know, that's his reality. That's how he view things.
yeah, that's his perception.
And that's how he's also made his money that way, because there are a lot of people who actually can identify with what he's putting on
which
the
is
screen.
really the masses.
Now, I would have a problem if he was putting something on the screen that ain't nothing like us at all.
yeah.
That's what I would have a problem with.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at him.
Other people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Other people make movies about us, and they ain't even had no interaction with us.
So the bottom line and the moral of the story is we have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Got it.
What you got next?
Next,
I mean,
and-
I'm just glad that a bunch of people went out and went to the polls and voted,
for sure. Next,
because that was my biggest fear about Tuesday. I was like, man, if y'all
I actually wasn't
mofos,
really surprised though at the turnout. I wasn't.
I was.
I wasn't, because that Prop 3 was a big deal to people. Not even just women.
But you talking about, but you,
Yeah, but it was
you
a
only
big
talking
deal for
about
them to
one
vote
proposition. We talking about just to.
But it all
Across
it takes
the
is
board.
one matter for somebody to care about to get people out to the polls, though. Like, just like how you get more people at the presidential election because they think that it's so widely publicized. They think it's a big deal. They don't realize that this kind of election is the one that matters the most.
I get that part. I get that argument, but I would have to buck against that, because there's no way the state turns blue if people only went to vote for proposal 3, is what I'm saying. So people actually wanted to
Well,
vote
I
this
mean, you
time
gotta vote for
because
the
they
other things.
because they understand. Because I've been to elections where we only voted for one thing and we didn't vote for nothing else, and then was mad because there weren't no other changes. Well, y'all only went to go vote for this.
Yeah.
Or you
Y'all
went
didn't
in and you was
y'all didn't
number
educate
50.
yourselves on nothing else. Y'all just like, I'm just gonna vote for this, because I know people that literally would take their ballot, they only vote for that one thing and leave the rest of it blank.
That's true.
They didn't do that this time. That's why I'm saying, like, yo, I am happy.
We had a
that
good
Tuesday,
turnout. We had a good turnout.
People went to vote. Like, they voted. Like, they was like, yo, we got to make sure we start to see some stuff. Now, hopefully, everybody, you know what I'm saying, do what they supposed to do now that they've been elected. Because we need to be on their ass from now on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then if they don't, we need to vote their ass out next election. Like, don't not vote next time because you was disappointed with who you voted in this time. Just get your ass back out there and pick a better person. Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in reality TV celebrity news, Erica Mena and Safari Samuels are officially divorced. And the child support she's going to receive for their 2 children together is like a little over $4,000 a month, and she is furious. What say you? Do you think that that's fair?
You want me to comment?
Yeah, you think that's fair, or she should get more money?
I hate to say this because I know people gonna be mad at me, but she's a fucking clown. To actually display that type of fake ass excitement about one getting a divorce as if that's a good thing, and then the way that she went about, like, the entire season kind of just dogging bro. And he's a clown too, because one, he don't know how to use his words. That's a whole nother conversation. But as far as being a mother, having children, and then having your husband at the time, whether y'all separated, whatever the case is, the way that the shit was played out and talked about, and like at the end of the day, you have children. So if you're going to be the bigger person and you're going to say that you're the example for the children, then you have to actually fucking be that. You cannot be degrading the other parent in any type of situation about what they ain't doing, what they didn't do. Like, to go to that type of extent, but then want to be praised as a good parent. One day, those 2 children are going to grow up and actually be able to push play to the bullshit that you said, because there wasn't much that he actually said at all. He actually did not comment about their kids and their relationship really at all, other than it was they was going through.
She talks about him all the time. She puts him on blast all the time.
Media.
She put him on blast on some emails where, like, I think he made excuses on it was supposed to be his day to get the kids, and he sent her an email like, "Oh, I can't do it today."
Yeah,
all he does is make excuses.
If that's how you feel, take that proof. If that's consistent proof, get you an attorney, go to court. But you, to me, her, like, she a clown, man. That's a clown ass bitch. Like, come on. Like, 4,000
she got child support, so I mean.
Well, she was upset about the amount of child support. She didn't feel like it was enough, and I think she said it was something
cover the mortgage.
Well, she said it was something specific that she's been having to pay for. I don't know, some medical expense or some expense with one of the kids or whatever. And she's like, "You mean I'm gonna be left to handle this all by myself?"
It's called get an insurance policy. Stop paying cash.
And also, you work.
You got to understand, medical stuff is included in the child support.
The
judgment.
Yeah, that's the total.
It's calculated.
Yeah.
So whatever she trying to cry about, talking about she lying.
Clown.
She capping.
Clown. Bitches can be clowns too.
She just want him to pay for the bulk of it or all of it, which is what most mothers do in that situation. They feel like the dad should be paying all they shit. No. And when y'all had that chance to where the guy would have did any and everything, y'all effed it over.
And
well, my other question is, does Safari have it like that? I mean, is he even really?
But here's the thing.
I mean, I don't know.
He might actually have a bag from probably some settlements that's not public. You know what I'm saying? Because there was different type of situations.
But what is she looking for? 10,000. Like, I'm saying, like, does he even have it?
I feel like she should be okay with what she got.
If he, whatever they calculated, he can afford what he can afford to afford.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. So,
like.
and she probably feel like he can afford more, which is not like out of the norm. Every mother think, oh nah, he can do more than that,
because she wanted to be able to pay for not the kid but all her expenses.
Well,
she
said, I gotta cover nanny, I gotta cover.
No, you don't, because you don't need a fucking nanny. That means that you're not being a mother. If you are hiring a nanny to spend time with your children to that type of extent, at the end of the day, you should pay for that. Nanny, but you should pay for that.
There
don't
is
complain
value
about it.
in having a nanny.
Yeah, there's value because you are too. And just saying, this is a fact.
Here's the thing with the whole nanny situation.
You too busy.
A judge would tell you chose
to get the nanny,
to get a nanny, and you should pay for it as a parent. The expectation would be the other way if the daddy decided to hire a nanny.
Daycare costs too.
It's not about daycare.
Which they actually include that when the child is little, they include that also in the child support, and they split it down the middle. And that's actually separate from the insurance and the regular day-to-day care.
So this ain't about daycare. She want him to pay for everything else. She just don't want to pay for it.
She got to keep them treatments going, keep that ass the way it is, them titties perky and shit.
So she still wants the perks.
She need to stay off everybody's table.
Too much weight.
If you dragging this man on social media all the time.
The sad part about it though is what I really see And this is the fucked up part about it. And this is something that I think human beings and not just women need to stop doing. Stop dogging out the motherfucker that you still in love with. If you are in love with somebody,
the person you chose, period. You chose them at a point.
But people be talking cash shit, and at the end of the day, only thing you doing is telling us that you still in love. All that ranting and raving and going crazy and popping up and blowing somebody's phone, you still in love. If they can get that type of reaction out of you, you still in love. You haven't broke ties. They still got a hold over you, or you still got a hold over them. And everything that she did say, I'm still in love with this man and I wish he would choose me. And she thought that let me go file for divorce and I'll get his attention. No, what you got was what you had, which is the moment he thought that the lights went out, he was out of there.
I just wonder, was it really irreconcilable between he and Nicki Minaj? Because neither one of them seems to have upgraded since breaking up with each other.
I actually like the little weight on Nicki. What up, Nicki, with your thick ass? I like that baby done. Woo, a couple years after that baby, that body done.
So Safari was with Nicki Minaj?
Oh, for several years.
You ain't know that?
I don't keep up with...
That's how he actually became anybody.
Yeah, he was in the background. He was her boyfriend, and he was always.
He was
with
an artist
her.
too, though, at first, but then she popped off, and he became more like shit, like not even a manager, more like a personal assistant.
And he was a songwriter for her too.
And he was helping write.
Because I'm surprised you didn't hear about it though, because their breakup ended up becoming public because he wanted compensation.
He sued.
Yeah, he ended up suing her.
Well, I don't pay attention to a lot of the stuff with that type of stuff.
But that was settled outside of court. So that's why I said, like,
he got some bags.
When he got with old girl, bro, he had a nice little bag. Like, it's probably not here. So she knows more than we do because that was his wife.
And he probably a star in Jamaica.
Yeah, so she know he getting bread, but that money ain't here. And if that was the case, then you shouldn't have filed divorce.
But that money ain't hers now.
But that's what I'm saying. You should have rolled them sleeves up. You should have dealt with a little bit of bullshit.
Straight.
Or, you know what I'm saying? You made your decision. You said that you was tired. You couldn't take it no more. You filed for divorce. So that means that you put your big girl panties on and you was ready to handle everything on your own, because at that point, when you say, I'm getting a divorce, and then turn around and say, I didn't expect to be raising children by myself, then bitch, what the fuck you getting a divorce for? What you think? Y'all gonna be in different houses. You still raising them by your goddamn self. Mm-hmm. Like, what? Like, that's what I'm saying. People say shit that really don't make fucking sense. Mm-mm. Like, I filed for divorce, and then you just ran out the house and went wild. Ever since I filed for the divorce, I haven't, like, what the fuck you said you filed for divorce? What am I going to sit and wait until the ink dry? No, you filed for divorce, and
I'm out.
Unless I got the energy to fight for us, 9 times out of 10 in those type of situations, especially because it's an emotional thing, it's sometimes natural for us to fight. Like, I'm not necessarily fighting for you to want me when that's something that I'm dealing with anyway. Like, it's so much shit that I'm dealing with on that as far as how love and emotions go, that if you tell me you don't want me, that's one of the easier things for me to accept as a man is, okay.
Yes, because, off topic, but real quick.
All right.
You follow Willie Moore Jr.?
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Do you know who Willie Moore Jr. is? Mm-hmm. So he and his wife are going through a divorce. And she doesn't want the divorce. And I guess her reasoning is like, because God doesn't approve divorce. Like, I'm a wife,
She wanted to work it out.
Yes. But he's like gone public and said, like, we're getting a divorce. He told all the steps. Like, we started with this, then we legally separated, we did counseling. He made it sound like we did all the steps. I'm officially sure that I want this divorce. So then she puts a post out about basically not wanting the divorce. And she put these hashtags on there like, my comments are on, I'm still a wife, and all this other stuff. But I kind of felt like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? If this man publicly, like, you can't publicly say you don't want me, and then I'm publicly saying, oh no, I'm your wife. Like, I just can't.
Yeah, they can. They do that.
No, they can, but I like, why do people do?
They do that.
Why?
They do that. I'm still your wife. Yeah,
am I too full of pride?
They do that. They definitely do that. Yeah, they do that shit.
Is that what it is?
Until that paper is literally dry in their mind, some women, they feel like we still married, like I'm still your wife.
If you don't want me, bro.
What they really fail to realize is that if you really trying to use, or I would say utilize the Bible as your reasoning for that, if anybody had any type of infidelity, the marriage is done. You don't need a judge to say that your marriage is over.
He did.
William Moore Jr. cheated?
At one point. That's not the reason for the dissolution.
But what I'm saying is that unless
he has cheated.
After the adultery, unless they what do you call it when they go back? It's not necessarily like you get remarried, but you do a vow renewal.
Oh.
It's called something different in the Bible, but technically that's what you're supposed to do. That's why when you see people who they go through the adultery situation and then they've been married for all these years and then they had that vow renewal and then they end up getting a divorce a couple months or a couple years after that. The shit is silly, but in the Bible, adultery is literally that breaks your union. When you commit adultery, you completely break the union. So at that point, you're technically not married anymore through your act. That's what the fact that you're not committing adultery is what binds you. Like when you forsaken all, when you break that vow, you break the marriage. Like it's only in today's time that we come up with this bullshit about separation and working through it.
Sure.
Really, you motherfuckers done broke each other's souls. Y'all done broke the tie y'all had. When you went over there and he went over there, and then y'all getting back in the bed with each other and thinking it's just y'all. No, it's like all six of y'all. Because now y'all doubling down on all the energies y'all bringing in because y'all broke y'all union. And that's really what it is.
Man, it's an ego thing. When somebody say they don't want you no more, but you really want them, it's ego for you to still be like, well, I'm a wife. And it's that church thing. Like,
that's goofy.
It's stupid. Like, religion, like, had people doing...
And I also think people pick and choose when to apply the religious stuff to stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, they apply it to everything.
No, sometimes sometimes they don't. It's when it benefits or suits them in a lot of ways.
Everything.
They'll definitely find a way.
Everything. Somebody that's deeply rooted in religion, they use it for everything. Everything that's good, everything that's bad. Yeah. Especially the bad.
That's the excuse.
It is even more so. I'm going to use this.
Like God told you to do that to them.
Well, speaking of marriage, our he say, she say tonight is from a wife.
Uh-oh. Oh, let's hear this shit.
Ooh.
All right. So she said, my husband said he didn't sign up to deal with me having cancer. I was in the hospital and he told, actually he did, but I'll get I'll get to that in a second. I'll get to that in a second.
Now, that's the first time my mouth just got... What?
Hold up.
My husband said...
No, wait.
I wasn't ready for that, Tasha. That fucked me up, man.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My husband said he didn't sign up to deal with me having cancer. I was in the hospital and he told me he's been with his gay friend and proceeded to have this friend move his stuff out of our home that same day. He asked me to keep the details of our divorce discreet because he's not out with his family and they are very religious. We have 3 kids and I am heartbroken. Should I honor his wishes and keep things quiet?
Okay, I have 2 questions. And I'm going to ask 2 questions that you may or may not know before I address what her question is. Number 1 is she's referring to him as her husband as if she doesn't want the divorce. And then 2, it sounds like they were on the verge of separating unless she was okay with whatever arrangements they had with each other. And then he's breaking that arrangement through leaving her through her downtime, which is supposed to be through better, through worse. Like, this is the worst.
Sickness and in health. You did sign up, sir.
I think the fact that he said that he did not sign up for cancer is fucked up. He's a horrible person. Probably absolutely nothing good is going to come to him for actually uttering those words out of his mouth as a reason to not be with somebody, instead of telling her that you are not attracted to her for whatever it is that you're attracted to, versus actually hurting her more when she's at the lowest, or dealing with something not only physically but mentally that is probably way out of her control than she can even imagine. And for somebody that she actually said vows to, like, would actually say some shit like that is
The father and her kids.
And that's I'm actually a little speechless for the first time, and I'm gonna pray for her because and pray that God have mercy on him, because nothing good is coming to you. If you moved out, that shit is gonna crumble. If you think that you're going from one thing to the next after actually making that type of statement in the universe, you are the person that I talk about when I say that I'm sick of you fucked up ass people out here who only think about themselves and think that everything is about you instead of the fact that you are here to help somebody else. And he married the bitch that he was supposed to, I ain't gonna say the bitch. He married the woman that he was supposed to help. That's sick. Like, I feel bad.
But
that's sick.
it's so not uncommon. It's so not uncommon.
That somebody would say that?
No, that men are married and on the DL.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's another part.
I feel like just from the jump is just all bad because he only married her because he had to put on this front for the family. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of families that do not accept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They do not accept anybody being gay, especially if you got a super religious family. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's typically the ones that really drive the wedge in between some of their families. So they do shit that they shouldn't be doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then they finally realize they done been in turmoil emotionally and mentally, like, damn, I'm trying to put on this front, but I can't keep doing that. The thing that makes this really, really bad on top of that is the fact that she got cancer and he's using that as part of the excuse.
That's the problem I got.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
To leave.
so it sounds like, yo, like if you didn't have cancer, I'd probably still be trying to keep this charade going. But since you got cancer, I'm going to go ahead and get with my gay lover. And then
so foul.
I just need you not to say anything so I can be the person.
My thing is, why are you holding on
tell my family
to
or
that
whatever.
for him? Why are you protecting him in the time?
Well, she's asking,
that,
should she?
Now,
Should she honor his wishes?
what I would say is, I don't think it's her place to tell his family that.
not to tell his family.
That's.
I'm not saying it's her place.
He's supposed to come out to his family. I don't think she should do it because then you basically doing the same thing he's doing. You doing it out of spite.
Okay.
And she's already dealing with enough with her cancer and all this other stuff. Focus on your kids. Focus on your health.
Well,
but you shouldn't want to do something out of spite. I know she's heartbroken because I'm heartbroken for him. Just that first sentence, I was like, damn.
Well, my thoughts
Like-
are you don't have to be spiteful per se, but I don't believe in secrets. I feel like they compound later and they cause problems. So being that they are getting a divorce, at some point you got to talk to the kids. Of course, we don't know the kids' ages, but if the kids are of age, you definitely should be
have that
telling them the
conversation.
truth.
Absolutely.
And they should know that their father has chosen a same-sex lifestyle.
Yeah.
And they should know that. Because
I'm just going by what it says
I
here.
know.
He didn't say anything about the kids.
well, she said we have 3 kids and I'm
right,
heartbroken.
but what I'm saying is his request was not to out him.
But
to
I'm
his
saying,
family.
well, I didn't get that far. But once he tells his kids bump their gums and they run their mouth. So when they go to grandma's house, what, you gonna tell your kids not to say nothing?
But they do
Here,
have to
this
have
is
that
your daddy's
conversation.
truth.
I mean, I guess
but don't say nothing around your grandma.
Well,
I wouldn't.
I think it's going to depend on the ages of the kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But 2, I still don't think it's her place to say anything to his family. Now, what you decide as far as your kids, depending on how old they are, they may understand, they may not. So that's going to be her choice regardless. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then that's something that he going to have to deal with.
Yeah, it's the conversation.
Because the kid's going to ask. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't saying out him. What I'm saying is, when I refer to keep his secret, it's the fact that somebody who literally told you, basically, fuck you.
And your cancer.
Now I'm asking you for an accommodation. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying go and tell no family, but I'm saying that clearly you are in the type of situation where questions is going to raise. Somebody's going to ask you a question. Somebody's going to ask you, well, what's going on?
Did he cheat? What
It's
happened?
not your obligation to silence yourself about whatever it is, your perception or your trauma was from that particular situation. Now, I'm not saying go and spread it to the world, but what I'm saying is that at no point are you obligated to silence your trauma to protect somebody who basically said fuck you.
That's a good point, because that's exactly what they did to August Alsina. They said he was wrong for telling what happened between him and Jada, but that was his story.
Yeah,
just as much as it was hers. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm not saying call up the family.
He had ulterior motives for doing
But
it,
it's
though.
the same thing, though.
Yeah.
It's still his story. It's still his truth, though.
I get
You
it,
can't
but he
deny-
had ulterior motives for doing it, though.
We don't know that.
I do know. That's why he announced his album right
like that.
after.
I'm just saying.
But-
And you see what happened with his album.
The point is, he had every right to talk about it. Whatever
That's
his
the-
motives
that's the
were.
sad part.
Yeah, the
That-
bottom line is he had the right because it was true.
If you wasn't gonna say nothing why it was actually happening, what was the point of saying it afterwards? Y'all had already had an understanding. We talking about months and months and months
Because
after.
he wanted her to leave him, and she didn't. Bad marriage for life, or whatever they said. But I think that the woman, I think that whatever the woman should do should only be in the best interest of their children, and his
herself.
feelings and his wants. Who gives a crap?
I mean, really, at this point, I'm going to say that whatever makes her comfortable and feel good in her spirit, she has all reins to do. Not even necessarily thinking about your children, because at this point, you have to get you to 100% mentally and physically, because you're dealing with a lot. You don't have time to be compartmentalizing shit based off somebody else's feelings or emotions. And a part of that would be literally letting that out, because dealing with cancer on top of stress, on top of dealing with children, there's so many different obligation layers in her life that's about to really kick in without any fucking support from the person that she actually said vows to. That is fucked up. Like, and that shit crazy. Like, that was his whole MO. It ain't had nothing to do with no cancer. That was 100%, I'm good, I'm leaving you, but keep my secret.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy act. That's like somebody that's just like somebody regularly just cheating on you. And you like, okay, I took you back. They cheated on you. Now, how many times you gonna cheat on me and I'm not supposed to tell nobody? And the relationship over.
I'm curious to know when she found out he was gay. Did she know before he told her about? I don't
She
want to be with
definitely
you
had
with
to know,
cancer?
because she said his gay lover, as if this been
He
going
told me
on.
he's been with his gay friend.
Yeah, this been going on.
Have this friend move his stuff out.
Yeah, this been going on.
I don't know the way this sound. She found out about him being gay and not wanting to deal with her cancer the same day.
No,
That's what this
it
sound
sounded
like.
like she knew. She knew
No,
what she
I
was
don't think.
saying.
I think she was like trying to make a long story short. Like, okay, this is one thing he said to me. He ain't signed up to deal with my cancer.
On top of him,
Then I'm
moving
in the
out.
hospital at this one point, and that's when he comes and tells me he's been with his gay friend, and
He's moving out.
they done moved out the house. He done moved him out the house already.
Oh, that's scandalous. That's scandalous. That's scandalous.
Better get on prep.
I'll say this.
Pray for her.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
If she knew he was gay prior to him dropping this bomb about her cancer, if she hadn't said anything about him being gay now, I don't think she should, just because they're getting a divorce.
If that was the arrangement.
Well, what if he didn't claim gay? What if he claimed bisexual? Because with
Again-
bisexual, my thing with
again, no,
okay,
listen,
no, let me finish.
listen.
If you say bisexual, though, listen. If you say bisexual, there is a woman or women who might be open to accepting that as long as the man has agreed to be monogamous with her. So
I get that part.
Yeah.
I'm strictly going off of what this
I know,
woman
but
said.
what if he told her he was bisexual?
Even, regardless, what I'm saying is, if she knew prior to him dropping the bomb on her, if she never said anything, if she never outed him to anybody prior to,
Oh, I see. What
if she
you're saying.
already
don't do it
knew,
now.
I'll talk about it now.
don't do it now.
Yeah,
is what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Because that mean it was already grounds. You already knew what it was. Now, and
Now,
then to this point,
if you did not know,
then that's different. That's
and
different.
you getting all of this all at the same time,
That's different.
I say no holds barred. If you feel like you need to,
Vent, let it out.
You need to do
Talk
that.
about it, do it.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I would just say, you know what I'm saying, be careful with how you end up
expressing yourself.
sharing this information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it can get dangerous because you
I'd say
don't know.
the main priority is protecting the kids.
Because you still got to worry about the 3 kids.
Yeah,
And
like
y'all
How
gotta
they
co-parent.
give
get,
them the truth.
how
to
they get
protect
the
them.
how they get the information.
It matters 100%.
Matters.
That
Come
matters.
from them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that matters 100%.
So
how
that's
they
why
get it.
that's why I'm like, you know, a part of me is like, if you say something to his family,
That's
you
not how
don't
the
know,
kids
you
should
don't know
find out.
how they gonna respond.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
The truth gonna come out, and you ain't gotta be the one to tell it. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come
But
out.
like he said, if you already knew that was something that y'all already talked about in y'all marriage,
yeah,
that was
like
something
if you-
that
if it-
would then
yeah,
just
if she was
come
already
out.
aware of the gay part.
Yeah.
The gay part of it. If she didn't say nothing before, she shouldn't say nothing now.
Because throwing it in now on top of already some
I
fucked
think
up shit he said.
honestly, I think that will create even more trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
It's because I just feel like a lot of people's families ain't sensitive to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they like, hey, why did y'all get a divorce? And you say, well, we got a divorce because he's really gay.
And I got
He
cancer.
been on the down low this whole time, and he don't want to be with me because I got cancer.
That's crazy.
Now you got people.
That's crazy.
he's gonna get dragged.
No, that nigga
She
can't.
might get dragged. Is what I'm saying, because family can be
They can
mean.
flip
Like,
on
girl,
you.
you know
Oh,
about
yeah.
that? And how could you not know? And you know, people be like,
They'll flip.
family
Yeah.
say the craziest stuff. So she got to. This is a real delicate situation. She got to be real. She got to think this all the way through. Just don't respond emotionally. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
definitely.
Don't
And
make
think
your
about
decision-
your kids in that delivery.
Don't make your decision emotional.
Definitely think about your children when you giving that delivery.
I'm praying for you, though, sis. That's hard.
That's a deep one, Tasha. Damn.
Yeah, he a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Does not be mistaken at all. If you
A lot of
listening,
them out here.
if you listening, young lady, he is a dirt bag. But just think about you first. Think about your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can see as bringing you the most peace
Do it.
and sanity out of this situation,
Do that.
Do that.
All right.
Damn, I wasn't expecting that. That was actually a good one and deep.
That was deep as hell.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
What else? What else?
That's
Oh, is we about wrapping up? What fucking time is it?
no,
y'all got-
we
y'all-
gotta go
y'all still
right
got-
into
y'all
the
still got a
main
little time.
event.
Yeah,
What's
go
the
ahead.
main event? Let's get to it. I gotta go perform. I gotta go do 2 numbers tonight. So
Not 2 numbers.
yeah, I'm showing my age.
what
to
you
that.
what you doing?
Karaoke King, nah.
I don't know.
You don't know what song?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know, one of them gonna be some shit y'all don't really
Do some
care to
Isaac
hear
Hayes.
about. I don't think I ever did no Isaac Hayes.
That's why you should do some.
That might be a good one. I don't think I ever did. I always do like Rick James, Luther,
Well, I just wanted to talk about
old shit.
gun violence, like on the heels of Takeoff and getting murdered and
Damn,
not
that was
even
unfortunate.
like
That
not
was
even
sad.
being in any kind of like altercation or any situation. He just kind of was a bystander in the situation. Like, I just feel like, what do we have to do to protect black men? Like, we talk about protecting black women and it's extremely important, but what do we have to do to protect black men? Because we need them. We are losing them to BS, whether it's gun violence in this particular situation or to jail. But like, what is the deal? Like, it's a lot of rappers who have died from gun violence, like Takeoff. I don't know some of these people. I got this from TikTok, but Bankroll Fresh, Trouble, Pop Smoke, PNB Rock, Triple X.
Now, I do know a lot of those.
I don't know how to say that man's name.
What I will say is that I have noticed over maybe the last 5 years in particular, there's a nice list of artists who have all died or gotten killed. Some say they got killed. Some, 1 or 2 of them might have been a situation. But what's extremely interesting to me is that a good probably 80% of that list all come off the same label. Now, this is shit that ain't nobody talking about. Ain't nobody talking about that there's a nice list of artists who have gotten killed or have died in unbearable circumstances, but they all come from the same label. That's not a
that's
fucking
weird.
coincidence. That's not a coincidence that these is the things that we're talking about too. But outside of that, when you just look at just regular gun violence, period, when it comes to men, I think that as men, we have to do a better job at placing ourselves in certain environments.
And I think that's the important part of the conversation.
That is the biggest key, is that we take our mentality everywhere we go. And a lot of men don't know how to tap into that chameleonaire of adjusting yourself accordingly without changing yourself. Like, you don't have to be somebody different to set a standard of what you will and won't tolerate, or what you no longer will allow to be around you. That has nothing to do with you changing who you are. And I think that a lot of men, especially when they're young, they make a lot of money. They get in these situations where they are now capable and able to make a lot of money, whether it's through the industry or whether it's legally or not legally. Nobody has taught them to put their environments behind them. So, like, unfortunate, like the Takeoff situation, like, that is sad. Like, that entire situation is sad. And the fact that it ended that way just makes it more sad, and prayers to the families and everybody else. And I hate to use this as an example, but this is one of those things that I try to tell my son. There's no reason for it to be 10, 15 niggas in one room. If that's the amount of friends that you want to hang with all day, it is, let's say, 99% chance some shit gonna happen. That is too many men hanging out, not doing anything productive. I'm not saying that y'all can't do business. I'm not saying that y'all can't be doing something extremely productive, but I'm talking about when you in non-productive environments, when you illegally gambling, take your ass to the casino if you want to gamble. Or if you want to do something a certain way, actually set it up a certain way at an establishment where you have security, where you have everything in place. But what they do is they take the hood with them everywhere they go, because nobody taught them differently. They got all this money. They don't know shit to do but talk shit and gamble. They come from an era where they're not educated. They ain't read no fucking books. They know more about a tour life than they know about their own life. Yeah. Like, it is really crazy, because I even look at these young boys now. They idolizing YouTubers and influencers and guys who just literally are not absolutely doing anything with their life other than taking an opportunity that's only limited, that's going to end up being taken away from you. They're going to throw some laws in place where they can stop y'all from monetizing the way that y'all monetizing off certain situations. And then you got to have a plan B. But they don't have that. I
think one of the things, too, that needs to happen, though, is men need to get back. I feel like this is like beating a dead horse, because we talk about, I don't know if we've talked about it on the show so much, but in general, like, men have to get back to that place of taking the lead. And that place of taking the lead is to have a household. And to have a household is to get yourself together. Like, even if you aren't a famous rapper, like, it's a lot of dudes that don't work. It's a lot of bum dudes sitting around on their butt. It's a lot of dudes that's
But see, them the dudes who sitting around that they all getting together. And shit is happening. So when you talk about black men or men, period, just having all these different situations that's related to gun violence, this comes from the lack of things to do, the lack of interest, the lack of somebody. And a lot of it really is nobody taught them anything different. Like,
that's why, because
that's all I know. What am I supposed to do? If somebody pissed me off, and I like where I grew up in the projects. So it took for me to get maybe I say probably about like 27 to really realize that, not saying that you don't react, but everything don't warrant me calling my cousins or looking.
We gotta get
like,
rah-rah
like
all the
it's
time.
going down. Yeah. Niggas sending, we didn't have to do none of that. We gotta learn
different conflict resolution practices.
I had to learn that, and I only learned that really going through anger management, going through counseling. If I didn't go through counseling, I didn't go through anger management, I'll probably be locked up.
So how do we get men to have more mentors? Like, because
you have to have a safe space. And I think that's the number one thing that men, and black men especially, we lack a safe space. Because if it's not what we have and what we don't have, it's our sexuality. It's the way that we act. There's always a judgment of where we don't line up properly.
I think too, we got to start pushing and promoting leadership. Like, everything doesn't have to be a follow. Like, I get it. Let's take Nipsey Hussle, for example. He was shot right outside the Marathon store. That is his store that he put in the hood on purpose. But sometimes, like, you can put the store in the hood, but you don't have to make appearances.
No.
You want to be, they want to be seen as, like, not thinking they better. Like, oh, I'm not too good to go to the hood. Yeah, you kind of are, though. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be my nose is in the air or a haughty type of thing.
It's a
but
safety issue.
It is a safety issue because simple. Just like he got popped, it is somebody who doesn't know how to ask you, hey, how did you get here? They just jealous. Instead of just asking, help me,
or
teach
they don't
me,
know how to ask anything. They know how to take.
That's what I'm saying.
So if nobody taught me how to go out and get my own,
I admire what you're doing. Can you show me? Instead, they just angry, jealous, projecting, and then boom, somebody getting capped.
They in survival mode. I think that we live in an era where a lot of people who are in situations where they're either in poverty or they're on the lower end of middle class. For us, and I can only speak for my people. We really are in survival mode. Everything, every reaction. That's why sometimes people get confused with aggression and passion. Like, it's not that a lot of us are aggressive. It's just that we are passionate about pretty much every fucking thing we do because it's either make it or break it in every area of our life. Because we don't have that balance.
And then taking it back to Takeoff, if there truly was a dice game going on, why? You are an entertainer. You don't need to shoot dice for money.
Now, I don't know how true that is. I know that a lot of us do that.
Quavo, I'm saying, not the.
But it's just that's just
reports say Takeoff was not a part of any of it.
But we do it. I can honestly say that I am guilty of, at 40 years old, being on the block, niggas shooting dice. It's 2, 3, 3:30, 4 in the morning, and I'm 40 years old, and
you at a certain level,
but I had to think. I think about it.
Work in a certain industry, but you also aren't necessarily like already rich. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, why are you doing that?
I think it was maybe like the beginning of the summer. I was doing that, and it hit me while I was doing it because just last summer I said I wasn't doing that fuck shit no more. And this summer, here I am,
right back,
because it's a habit. I was right back there, but I immediately held myself accountable. Like, bro, you fucking 40 years old and you got a lot to lose. Why the fuck is you on the block when niggas shooting dice at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning? We drinking, we smoking, we shooting dice. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Why we doing this shit on the block? And pretty much all of us got cribs. We all got nice houses.
Yeah.
Why we ain't at the crib in the basement? Why we ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's so many places that we could be, but until we start really separating ourselves, not only from our past, holding ourselves accountable, creating a safe space for us to have these type of conversations and come to each other and create a safe space to do the things that we're used to doing, that we enjoy, it's going to always be some shit with people getting into it where somebody bring their man's got a pistol. You don't know their man's got a pistol on them because everybody know everybody. And next thing you know what I'm saying, it's somebody that came over with your man's and your man's done pop my cousin.
Yeah.
Like, shit like that happens simply because nobody's teaching anybody how to do a lot of things the right way.
Yeah.
Because you can still do the shit that you like to do. You can still have a little hood.
But how do we make that stuff cool again? Like, how do we make marriage cool again? We get all this, everybody's co-parenting.
Family.
Like, I'm
so
tired of that.
Cool
like,
again.
Get married. Start a real family. Be a head of your household. Be a leader.
You know what's crazy? I was reading some stuff, and I know we got to go, about the difference between the cross and the unk and why I was so drawn to it.
Okay. And
one of the things about Christianity that I'm not going to get too deep in because people are going to get pissed off at me is that difference is a huge message that's been pushed into the minority communities as far as the son and the father.
Yes.
So if our religion represents the son and the father and not the womb and the mother and the child, we already are being silently programmed as if family is an option and not a requirement.
Yes.
And when you look at it as a requirement, as part of your belief, because you believe that you came from the womb and there's the father and then there's the kid, and we are one, it makes sense. But that's not being taught in the home. What's being taught in the home is independence, is self-resilience, is not giving up on self. We are not being taught, including in our religion, that you start with family. You start with the man, the woman, the child. You start with that union of some sort. And until we get back there, which has been hundreds and hundreds of years.
This the collection.
Yeah, we fucked. Like, just pretty much we fucked until we get back to that.
Man. Well, I just hope, so we can wrap up because we do gotta go. My final thought is, I want to see the black man live to grow old. I want to see the black man make a change as a whole. I want to see more black fathers. I want to see more black heads of households. I want to see more black husbands encouraging other black men to be husbands and family men, because it is cool and it's okay to get married. It's okay to have a family and to build a legacy. Like everything, you can't really, I mean, Nick Cannon, you can't really build a legacy having
What up,
50
Nick?
million kids everywhere. You gotta
Bang, bang, bang.
start with your family so you can pour into that unit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And start building generational wealth. So I would love to see the black man survive and grow old. And this isn't about black on black crime. This is about men dying fast.
And this is about us
silly stuff.
letting everybody know that we are worthy. We want a long, long, long life like everyone else.
Yes.
But definitely, we ran out of time.
Yes.
We appreciate everybody for joining us
Thank
and
you for
checking us
joining
out. We will be back next Thursday, same time, doing the same shit. If you got a question, you want our opinion on something, do not hesitate to shoot it to us to a Lady and the Savage podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Till next week.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.